Bo and Chad have been debating about what we would do, what car we would get. Would we even get the Expedition? Would we get the Can-Am? Would we get a Vanderhall? Or would we just go buy a Jeep? Like, what would you do in this situation? And I think the reason that it's very controversial is what you get and for the price point. So, Bo, what would you get if you're getting the Expedition? What would you get and what would it cost and what would your package be?
Okay, so that is very close. So I built out my car, and so if I'm going to get a car like this, obviously out in Havasu it's a little difficult because we do run pretty hard with our vehicles, and the travel isn't as great on these Expeditions. You only have 14 inches of travel. But I decided that if I was going to build something out like this, it's going to be my overlanding vehicle, so it's going to have everything that I need to go out camping, and if we want to go hiking, if we're going to bring the dogs. Me and my wife have 2 dogs, 2 labs, and that's our big thing. We always take our dogs when we go out in our pickup. And so I started off with the base package, Polaris Expedition ADV 5 North Star. That'll give me enough room for the dogs and enough room for all of our gear that we're going to bring with us. It comes standard with heat and AC, which is the big addition that I thought we are going to need in a car like this. Easy, I just included the entire Overlander package in that. So that includes a cooler, light bars, glass windshield wiper kits, kick out rock sliders. The big thing that I really wanted was the tent. I wanted the above cab tent so that we could camp in there. It is just the vehicle we're going to use. So base price on that is $45,000, which is pretty, in my opinion, is pretty steep for a car like this. As configured, I'm at $57,300
with all your options.
With all my options, so it's pretty steep if I'm being completely honest. But that's what I'd have to have in order to make it work for me and my family. Blue and black. So.
And then now Chad, what would Chad, like, this is like a thing Chad is obsessed
hopefully you
with.
can hear me. Said you have a cold right now.
And we've been out in the desert the last 3 days.
Yeah.
So
we're kind of gutted from a big trip.
So my base package is $36,999, and I'm gonna have Bo read off the accessories.
Yeah. So we're on the Expedition ADV5 Ultimate. I was on the North Star, he's on the Ultimate. With he's going with the Storm Blue. That's including and you priced out all of your stuff, right? So like you individually selected your options.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have kick out rock sliders, ADV or LED light bar, A-arm guards, rear A-arm guards, the North Star cooler, polyfold doors, power windows front and back, tip out windshield,
Yeah.
spare tire carrier, liftgate glass, rooftop tent, which me and you both, I mean, that's a big selling point for me. Folding side mirrors, light bar, defrost kit. I don't think mine had that. Plug-in install kit for ride command. Scenic lights, mine had that. The winch, large roof rack, high mounted 6,000 pound winch. So base price on yours, we'll say $36,999. As configured, $58,500.
Did that come with heat and AC?
That does not come with heat and AC.
Okay.
So 59 or 58.
I need the heat and AC. I couldn't find it on there. I need another tire, and I need the ride command.
So so
it's gonna push me over.
You're gonna be in the mid-60s easy.
60s.
Yeah.
So I was at 57.3. You're at 58.5. I have heat and AC. You don't have heat and AC yet. But so you might want to go up to the North Star package maybe.
Yeah. I tried to build from the bottom and go up. I think you're gonna have to start with the North Star package
just to get the heat and AC,
and then kind of build around that.
I feel like if you're gonna get a truly overland overlander type vehicle, like it's almost kind of like, because we want to kind of compare different builds and different cars. I feel like it's a must, like heat and AC's in that. You know what I mean?
It's just
To be counted as a true overlander in the cars that we're going to compare against.
Yeah, because usually we're running like up to 70 miles a day, and I've done trips that are over 400 miles. And when you're doing trips like that, and that's this kind of car, you're gonna need heat and AC because you're going
high elevation to low.
And low. Yeah.
And for us, right, so we're trying to extend our riding season as much as possible. I mean, we were just up in Idaho.
We just traveled how many miles?
We just traveled 700 miles round trip, or well, one way.
One way.
Just to ride.
Just to go ride.
We just put our trip put a down payment on an expedition.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
With gas and everything that, we're going to have to update our...
But there's stuff closer that we could go to for higher elevation. But yeah, I mean, more or less, you're going to be 40... The way I look at it is, no matter what, if I'm going to get an overlander car, like, I haven't done a straight up build because, as you can tell, I'm driving. So I haven't gotten on the phone and done the build. But everything that I've heard from these guys, I know if I kind of went on the cheaper side of things, like Bo's wanting to make sure he's got this and this accommodation for his dogs and this and this and this, and Chad, he's big into it. So if I kind of went on the cheaper side of things, made sure I had my heat and AC and a few other things, like I gotta have a winch, a spare tire. I mean, I'm gonna be 50K. Which to me is just hard to believe I'm gonna spend 50K on a car that has half the suspension and half the power as my Pro R.
No.
So that's a tough one to like fathom and understand. But I'm getting heat, AC, enclosed cab, so that is, you are getting a lot of different other stuff that the Pro R doesn't have.
One of the things that is hard is the Can-Am Defender Lone Star comes with a lifted A-arms, full enclosed cab, heat and AC, winch, larger tires. So, and the base price is 35 grand. So you get
So about 10 grand.
Yeah.
You are 10 grand. It's 45,000.
That's coming with a winch and everything.
It comes
the
with
Overlander doesn't come with the winch.
Heat and AC.
Yeah.
So you're more like 50.
Power windows.
Yeah.
For what the Can-Am Defender comes with and what the Expedition comes with, it's really going to be 35 to 50.
Right. Yeah.
Well, so
we're looking at a 15 grand difference.
So it's 45,000 base just to get AC and heat. So I mean, that's a steep ask from the Defender.
That's where I think Polaris should have priced this thing starting with the Defender, and they would have had a home run.
Yeah.
Because
I have a feeling this is probably going to outdo the Defender in the...
There's a lot of ways it will outdo the Defender.
But 15K.
Yeah, it's a hard ask.
You can do a lot of stuff to your Defender for 15,000 to make it outdo that Expedition.
So here's the main thing with the Expedition. That back seat, it folds down flat. Yeah. And there's no other vehicle in that well, it's a new category. Yeah. But there's no vehicle that you can modify that can do that unless you're buying a regular SUV.
Yeah, so you're getting a 4-seater in this Expedition. Mm-hmm. You're not getting a 2-seater.
5-seater.
Or 5-seater, excuse me, 5-seater. You're getting the 4-door. No matter what, because it's just not going to make any sense. You get so much more room.
Yeah.
And it's already configured so you can just pull down the seat.
I mean, there's going to be some people that buy the 2-door and there's a reason, and I think that's fine. But like, for what we're wanting to do, because you got the 2 dogs, you got the big family, I got the big family, we need the 5 seats, but there will be some people that could do the 2-seater and save a few bucks.
Yeah.
And everyone's talking about price, and just to throw it out there, so one of the things I think we're talking about Polaris missed on, I think Polaris missed the mark on just the absolute base, right? So absolute base, 2-door, the Polaris Expedition XP, the lowest price vehicle MSRP is $29,000, $28,999. That's missing the mark, I think. You're way overpriced.
The Defender Can-Am base is like what, 14? Practically.
The base
shy of 14.
14,000.
That's a big difference. I do feel like after looking at everything though, that Expedition is a better car than the Defender out of the box. But I mean, you're looking at a huge price gap to where you could add, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 to that Defender,
and not be
you're
upset.
still a lot cheaper than the Expedition, and you're probably just about as comparable. It definitely has game-changing, like big game changers, but boy, you pay for that game changer.
Big time.
So, and we've seen a lot of memes already of the look of this vehicle. And as much as it's been fun to see him over the last couple days or the last couple hours, right? I actually like the look of it. I like the fully enclosed. Like, I know
you like the look of it.
I like the look of the Geo.
Pretty much get rid of the General, and this is what the Expedition is, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually, for kind of a half sport, half utility car, I actually like the General. It had a good look to it to me.
Yeah, I think the General was kind of a solid looking vehicle.
Yeah.
Here's the question: with all the capability and everything, are you buying this, or are you just going to buy a Jeep Rubicon?
Now, yeah, I think personally it's apples to oranges in my opinion. But yeah, you can get a nice Jeep, a Jeep Rubicon, for less money than this Expedition. And that's a tough one.
That's a little crazy.
So we looked it up last night. It was 28,000, I believe, and someone's gonna quote us and say we're completely off on that. But
The Jeep Rubicon's not 28.
No, for
the
base,
Wrangler.
for the base
Wrangler.
The Wrangler was 28. I apologize.
The Wrangler, the base model of Jeep, the Wrangler, is practically the same price as the base model Expedition.
Yeah.
And then the top end
Rubicon.
Jeep Rubicon
It's less
is a hair. Well,
than the North Star.
the North Star is 45. The Jeep's 45, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, the North Star like fully loaded though.
But I mean, Jeep. I mean, you're still gonna. I mean, a lot of people that buy a Jeep Rubicon, they're still gonna put some stuff on that too. You know?
Yeah.
So
you're gonna put options on that.
So also, we'll pose the question. Okay, so cars that are in this class, right? So we have the Defender, we have the Expedition now,
You also have the Ranger North Star.
the Ranger North Star, kind of a lower class, right? That's why they have the Expedition.
Maybe that's, you know, the Ranger. Maybe, you know, Expedition's not supposed to be really competing with the Defender.
Do we throw the?
It's not. It's a new category.
Do we throw anything else in this category?
Well, I think we throw the Vanderhall.
The Vanderhall?
Yeah, the Vanderhall, which you know.
But nobody's drove and seen. It's not there to buy. I mean, they're already sold out though.
It's a total game changer.
Yeah. This is kind of in its own. We're comparing it to cars that really it's in its own category. But that's the best. These are the closest kind of vehicles we can really compare it to. But I agree with Chad. A lot more wives are going to want to go riding when they can get in something like the Expedition that has an insane amount of creature comforts for the spouse.
So
and the
what
kids.
about the Vanderhall GT and the Vanderhall GTS?
I mean, well, okay. So everybody, Bo. Let's start with Bo and then Chad then me. What car are you buying if you're buying a car today?
If I'm buying a
Out
car.
of these,
If I'm buying a car
3 or 4 we
today,
talked about.
I'm gonna buy an Expedition. I think it has the most room for my dogs, and also I can actually get one. And the Vanderhall is sold out, so there you go.
I'm just saying if you can. You know,
As much as I love my electric vehicle, I think I would still go with an Expedition. If I was going to go in this class, if I could buy one today, that's what I would go with. I would go with what I priced out. It would be a hard sell for my wife, I think, at $57,300, but that's what I would buy.
Not after she realizes she gets to go riding with you all the time.
She can go riding more, and the dogs
I don't
can
think
come.
the sell will be near as hard when it's like, oh, you can come and be comfortable.
Yep. So that's what I'm buying. Chad?
Okay, if I'm spending 65 grand, I am buying a updated, modified International Scout with a.
not even in that category.
Are we talking what between?
Well, that's fine.
Between the
No,
we
you're
were talking
fine.
about
between the Vanderhall.
It's okay.
between the Vanderhall, like I think you still have to kind of keep it in the side-by-side category, like we talked about.
All right,
the Jeep
so-
is the same price point as this
Right.
Expedition, but
I don't know enough about the Vanderhall. I don't know what the interior
there's
is
a
like.
lot of unknowns
So-
with the Vanderhall, so that is gonna pose a tough, difficult
I
decision.
mean, based off of price and capability, I would probably be going with the Vanderhall but I don't know the seating arrangement
I don't think it's going to be as cool as your like the whole reason you love that Expedition. I don't think you're getting that with the Vanderhall.
Well, I mean, I on these type of trips, I kind of pack light. On my 400-mile trip, it's a sleeping bag and a gas can, and some food.
If you're not packing crazy,
that's how I pack. I don't like overload my stuff. I don't need everything, unless I'm taking my truck. Then I'll take my power inverter and all kinds of stuff.
So you're going with what then?
Vanderhall.
Okay. I'm going with the Pro R. Because I'm not.
This went way out of here.
Hey,
if you're gonna pick any of these,
I'm just joking.
You get the Scout then.
He's getting the Scout. I'm getting my Pro R.
Fine. I'm going back to my Land Rover. I'm doing that. We're just gonna throw it out in left field. I'm going back to my Land Rover.
I feel comfortable mixing a Sandrail and a side-by-side together at Glamis. I don't think you can really mix a Jeep, a Scout, a Land Rover with side-by-sides. They really don't mix well.
That's fair. Okay, so what are you going with then?
Oh, I'm Vanderhall all day. I mean, I care way too much about the look of it. I think the thing's freaking sick. It's gonna have horsepower. There's a few unknowns, so I mean, I could be wrong, but because we haven't really seen it out there. We know Polaris has tested the snot out of this Expedition because anything that they do put out there, they've tested for 4 years, minimum. But yeah, I love that. The Vanderhall has amazing perks. I'm not a big electric fan, but I love the horsepower that you're getting from it, and I love the look, the design, and it's just a sick looking truck. And I think it's going to outperform. As far as the trails go, I think it has a lot more performance to it. Which, if you know me, I care more about the performance than I do sleeping under the stars and those creature comforts.
So, but I think Polaris is pretty. They have categories that no one else has. No one else has come out with a Razor for kids, or a side-by-side for kids. That's not like a Chinese knockoff. So that's a cool category. This is a brand new category. They're leagues ahead of anyone else with a high performance, all-around car like the Pro R. And so their next step with that is going to be incredible. The new XP1000 is really good. Now, what surprises me is their price points with that car is good. Starting price point with this car is just not good, and that is probably the reason why I wouldn't go with it. If it was $10,000 or $15,000 less, I'd probably be going with the Expedition.
It is a tough pill to swallow.
It is.
It's hard to spend $55K on a Geo Metro.
The Vanderhall.
No, not Metro, it's Psychic.
Sorry.
The Vanderhall is $42,000 for the GT and $50,000 for the GTS.
We got a little sneak peek here at the Vanderhall building. Now, you can't just walk in there and just see whatever you want. We got lucky. We talked to a couple guys, and guy key patted us in, and we checked it all out. But there was no Brawley to look at, so a little bummed here. But here's a couple of their cars that they actually sell. But that Brawley is looking really good. We got a little bit of information from them testing, trying to break it. So I think it'll be a great car when it comes out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.